Yo, what is good, guys? Welcome back to the Two Truths, One Lie podcast presented to you by iHeartRadio on YouTube. My name is Ben.
My name is Shivani.
I'm Keanu.
And today we are going to be talking about the gym and fitness and overall help individuals worldwide that are watching this podcast right now to improve their overall health and improve their mental health as well. But first, I'm going to start off with my co-host, Shivani, and I'm going to ask her a few questions about her own fitness journey. So, Shivani, in the past couple of months, how have you attempted to improve your fitness journey and fitness life?
Right, so over the past couple of months, I haven't been really locked in on, my fitness and, how I've been treating my body recently. So I want to really get into that and, start working out. So I want to ask Keanu, because I know he was in a very similar, even worse state.
I was in a worse state.
A really worse state. So I want to ask him how he overcame that obstacle.
Alright, so first I'd like to appreciate you for asking me. It's a big honor. And how I overcame the struggle is due to Ben, obviously. It's helping me support, but not only Ben, but friends and family on my fitness journey. So this all started back in November, right? Where it was Thanksgiving break, and I wanted to meet a quota of exercises throughout that break. However, I did not meet this quota, but going through that process, going through that journey, I realized that I needed to make a change and a switch before the new year, and and I'd say definitely Coach Ben.
So what caused that switch that you had?
So what caused that switch? It was a multiple barrages of verbal abuse by none other than my Coach Ben.
Yes. So essentially, at the start of this year, 2025, I did, unleash a slew of words that I did not want to repeat on this podcast, and so I kind of helped Keanu snap out of it because, in my personal opinion, when you're struggling with fitness, for example, you really need that outer voice to tell you the things that really do suck in life, but needs to be heard. And so I think I provided that for Keanu, and now Keanu can share his overall successes in recent times.
And overall, it did not just help me, but also helped Ben throughout his journey as we worked together, and he definitely had some challenges going through it.
Yes.
And we definitely shared these successes.
Yes.
So what was your fitness journey, Ben?
Alright, so I always grew up, kind of chubbier, and so... Sorry, you guys are about to laugh.
It's okay, we all go through it.
But basically, in 8th grade...
Get out.
My co-hosts are very funny, but given the nature of this podcast, you are going to have to expect some,
Banters,
some banter, some laughter,
Of
but that's just our nature of our podcast. But basically, I always grew up kind of chubby, but in 8th grade, I lost a lot of weight and got really, really lean. And so that was sort of the start of my fitness journey. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was just spamming exercises and hoping that they would make me look better. And they did. And so I kind of just continued with that. But recently I've been very consistent coaching Keanu, but also, with Keanu kind of helping me, keeping me in check. Because like I told you, people need to hear what they don't want to hear, because truth hurts, but truth also helps.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So what do you guys think the line is between being healthy and doing too much and causing harm to your?
So I think bodybuilders they do take it a little bit excessive. Using anabolic drugs such as Tren, MK677, and certain hormones and peptides that allow them to enhance their physique. And of course, the viewers of those fitness influencers want to chase that physique, but they have to understand that physique isn't obtainable by natural means.
Yeah.
And so, I feel like that is the border, and that is the boundary that should be set.
Another border I like to add on to that is actually the mental border as well, because to really overcome that border, you have to let go of the kind of that mindset, that image that you portray yourself to be and the image you are now. And I think that unrealistic border cannot be overcome because of that.
Yeah, I think that looks like body dysmorphia and feeling whenever you look in the mirror you look a different way, and that causing sometimes anorexia or binge eating, different eating disorders. And I think that relates to this study called the Springer study. which was done basically showing how health and fitness are like positively correlated with mental health. But I think that it also discusses how like taking it too far can often lead to like dangerous low sites that can hurt yourself in the end of the day.
Exactly. And so I feel like you know the overall the fitness community though is also at fault here. They sort of play into the body dysmorphia that all these young teens
And almost
are
like
going through.
romanticize it in a way that shouldn't be done.
Exactly. And so, you know, chasing this unobtainable physique by this fitness influencer can lead to extremely like unhealthy thoughts about themselves, you know, and can further enhance the body dysmorphia that Shivani talked about. And so, Keanu, I want to ask you, what are some personal experiences with body dysmorphia? And have you ever considered, you know, going down a darker path with your fitness journey?
Have I ever considered going a darker path? I believe I have. I've always kept this kind of constraint, this restriction.
Like positive.
Positive, exactly. So I didn't want to go over that line because obviously I knew the negatives and the dangers, and I think that outweighs. I think the positives outweigh the negatives, and that's why I will never cross that path.
And also for both of you guys, do you think that, you know, your newly found fitness journey has improved your overall lifestyle?
Okay, so I like to start off. I believe
Right.
it has definitely improved my confidence and like my mental health as well, and not as well as my physical health. Because as y'all know, they do correlate with each other, so that's obviously very important. So yeah, I'd definitely say it has improved.
As of recently, I feel like I've been getting more into like, you know, into physical health. And when I have done it, it has made me feel a lot better about myself and made my head clear up a bit. So yeah, I do think that they do correlate, and it's important to, you know, keep that in mind and not cross the line.
Yes, and so, you know, I think this is the part where coaches really come in. You know, though coaches don't usually get the attention that they deserve, they're actually the sole key in helping someone achieve their fitness goals. Because unlike a fitness influencer, they don't make you try and obtain
unrealistic standards.
Exactly, and these physiques that are just not obtainable by natural means. And so, you know, similarly with how I helped Keanu coach him and stuff, and a lot of other people as well, you know, I feel like coaches, you know, really deserve a bigger thumbs up on their mental health assistance.
Okay, so I'd like to ask you a question, Ben. So I know you're on creatine, right? So have you ever thought about kind of taking a step forward and like going through maybe more not natural means?
Yes, I have considered. Yes.
Yeah,
but you know, after further research, you know, I realized a lot of these different supplements, such as, you know, beta, agdisterone, and all these other peptides as well, is extremely unhealthy for the human body. And, you know, at times, a lot of people have to realize that starting this fitness journey isn't about being the biggest or being the strongest, but rather looking better than what you looked like yesterday or a few
even
months
feeling
ago.
better mentally.
Exactly. Yes.
But I also think that like the relationship between like a coach and like maybe like the person that's working with them, it doesn't only need to be like that. It can be two people working together towards like one path, right? So like working together, like working out together, that's helped, right? Like keep motivation.
It has.
Just keeps us like up to date, up
And
to
in
count, in check, exactly.
Yes, exactly. And of course, there's obviously mistakes being made, such as, you know, Keanu skipping certain workouts when I tell him not to. But
And this goes hand in hand as well, both ways.
yeah, I suppose so. But of course, I skip less than him.
Or being on the cut and eating more than.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So there's several different standards that, you know, and aspects of the fitness journey that we got to keep each other in check for. You know, however, I feel like working by yourself has definitely is definitely like worse than working with someone, because working with someone can drastically reduce these mistakes, not eliminate them, but reduce them like by a great amount. You know.
And working out alone almost feels like it's like an endless like cycle, like of like maybe not like with the most positive things, but working together can often like foster like even like fun experiences together and like memories.
Yes.
Yeah, because working alone creates this monotonous cycle, and obviously it's not sustainable throughout time. So obviously having like say a workout partner or something like that, someone to reach out, this can definitely help.
Exactly, and especially because, you know, with certain cases of body dysmorphia, these individuals and teens all over the world, in the United States specifically, they go through body dysmorphia. And so having someone that is like a consistent workout partner can drastically reduce some of that body dysmorphia, because you have someone right there
And that makes them feel less alone.
that will keep you up and like keep your morale up while you grind through whatever it is, And so
so I know you started off like alone, right? So throughout your fitness journey in the beginning. So what kind of made you kept up with the schedule? Because I know you didn't have a partner for maybe a year.
Well, it's just with working by yourself, you really have to base it off of your body dysmorphia. Like, I use my body dysmorphia as like motivation rather than like looking down on myself, right? And that's not like a practical way to keep yourself going, because like you're gonna hit plateaus and then you're just gonna feel like worse about it, and so but it is doable by like certain extents, but like I wouldn't say like you would have to maintain that.
Okay.
So I think like in conclusion, like really like what we took away is like, working out doesn't always have to equivocate to like only how it looks, but also how you mentally feel, right?
Exactly. And so the purpose of this podcast and this talk today was to really just bring about some attention on
and shed light on
and on the mental health and mental aspects of working out. And so for my personal fitness program, I've actually assigned a coach to work with Shivani here and help her start on her fitness journey. Okay.
Right. In order to feel more motivated.
Exactly. And so having these little goals, and this coach that I'm working with to help Shivani is very trustworthy and very respected, and has shown a lot of progress. And so I feel like they would help each other, keep each other in check. And I think overall the message is that everyone should find themselves, a workout partner if possible. But if you are working out by yourself, make sure that you do it for the right reasons and not for the wrong.
And don't feel discouraged if progress isn't showing it like immediately.
Of course. And so, there are several studies that pinpoint that, fitness is supposed to be a boost for mental health and not a
the opposite.
Not like a burden, on the mental health. And so I think that's very important to keep in mind. And of course, with time, the physique is just gonna look better, and so chasing a physique is not the most important part, but rather keeping yourself consistent is the most important part. And so
thanks for watching, guys, and subscribe.
Click the like
button. And make sure to turn on those post notifications.
Exactly. But hopefully you guys learned a lot from this podcast, and till next time on
2 Truths and 1 Lie.
One lie. But soon, hopefully, through better training, it'll be 3 truths. So bro. Peace out, guys.
Bye.